I was on mute the whole time. Brilliant. Working through the bugs, I guess. So let's start over. Thanks, JT and Thomas, for letting us know. So thanks, guys, for joining our webinar today. My name is Jeremy McLerran. I'm Director of Marketing for Qolsys. This is Whitney White. She's our Manager of Marketing and Communication. And today we are going to do a webinar about installing the IQ Security Kit. Hopefully everyone can hear me okay. We want this to be very interactive. I've got my computer right here. I've got your questions up on the screen. So as you guys type in your questions, I can totally see them right here. So please interact with us. Several of you are already doing that. Eric, Thomas, JT, thank you very much. For those of you that are new to our webinars, what we'd like you to do is refer to the GoToWebinar control panel. It should be a little panel up this big on the side of your screen. And find the section called Chat or Questions. And there's a place for you to actually type in questions. We'd like you to make sure that this works and that you can see us okay and that everything's working. So if you don't mind, go on there right now, say hello, tell us where you're calling in from, make sure that we can hear you okay. Also let us know that the stream is okay, that you can see us. For those of you joining in just from the phone today, you're missing out on an opportunity to be able to see the actual security kit being installed. We'll be taking this around this home and showing you where we would install things. Answering your questions on various scenarios and things like that. So pretty awesome. We've got all kinds of people coming in here today. It looks like we've got Tracy from West Virginia. Welcome, Tracy. Philip in Colorado. Welcome. Stephen in Rescondito, California. I hope I said that right. Is that right? Rescondito? I don't even know where Rescondito is. Robert, welcome. Pennsylvania. Thomas from doitright.us. Nice. Welcome, Thomas. Stephen, Scott, Bethany, Mike, Gregory, Caleb, Eric. We got people from Tulsa, Atlanta, Georgia, Salisbury, Maryland, Dayton, Ohio, Canada. Oh, Canada. It's not my home or my native land. But Jeremy Blake, who's in our office, is Canadian, and it is his home and native land, and he really dislikes it when we make fun of Canada. Which you shouldn't make fun of Canada. Canada's a great place.
I've never been there.
You haven't?
No.
I like Canada. It's full of clean, polite people. Which
you.
makes sense. They're all clean because they've got free health care. We're all dirty Americans. Maybe not. I don't know.
Okay.
Okay. Looks like we've got Asheville, North Carolina.
New York.
New York. Nice. Hey, Stan Norman. Hey, Stan. How's it going, buddy? Hampton Roads, Virginia. I grew up in Charlottesville, Virginia, so not too far away from my hometown. Kevin in Utah. Welcome, Kevin. Good to see you. New York, Augusta, Georgia. Ooh, excellent. Frisco, Texas. Excellent. So we got people from all over the place. This is great. Lots and lots of participation today. You know, like every webinar we do, there's a lot of people on, so that's why you're not able to speak with us. This is going to be your only way of actually asking questions and things like that. But hopefully it's going to be enjoyable for you. We are recording this, and GoToWebinar's informed us that there's a new beta program that we're participating in where it'll actually record the video too. Those of you who've recorded video, or who've attended video webinars with us in the past have noticed that our recordings, when they get up on YouTube, there's no video with it. So hopefully this will work, and that we'll be able to post this later on. If it doesn't, you can actually go on our webinar, on our YouTube page right now. It's youtube.com/Qolsys, and we just uploaded a video that we made in the office last week of taking the security kit apart and installing it. It's about, what, 13 minutes long.
Wait,
so
you put bloopers?
I put like 30 seconds of bloopers in the end. Yeah, so that's kind of fun. But you know, it's basically doing the same thing we're going to be doing today, only it's not in a home, it's in the office. We're just kind of explaining some things like that. So that should help. You can refer to that video as well. But our hope is that we'll have this video about this webinar we're doing today up on our YouTube channel later on today. Bill, welcome. Glad to have you on. So let's get started with, first off, we want to do a quick poll. So I am going to launch that poll right now. And the first thing I want to know is this your first Qolsys webinar? You know, I want to know yes, or if maybe you're a Qolsys webinar veteran, you've been to them before. It helps us understand our audience. Obviously, we're going to do things a little bit different if we've got a bunch of people that are brand new. And it looks like we do have a pretty significant percentage of people that are brand new for our webinar. So welcome, guys. We're glad you're on today, and we hope you'll learn a lot. Hope you ask questions. Again, if you're not sure how to do that, there's a panel on the side called the GoToWebinar Control Panel. Look for the section called Questions or Chat, and you can type whatever you want in there. We'll be able to see it, and then we can answer your questions live on air. I'm going to go ahead and close the poll now. I would also like to know, are you currently installing the IQ panel or the DSC Touch? So I'm going to launch that poll as well. This will give us, and then the answers, of course, are yes, no, or maybe you're evaluating right now. This will give us an idea of our audience in terms of, yes, you're already doing things, and now we can teach you tips and tricks, or no, you're not installing it, and maybe you need to learn more about it, or maybe you're evaluating and you'll have a few more questions. So kind of gives, again, an idea of how to tailor this webinar specifically for you so that it meets your needs. The last thing we want is for these webinars to be boring. You've all been, hopefully you've all been on one of those awful webinars so you can see how awesome this one is. But we really want to make it a lot of fun for you. We really want to make it enjoyable for you. Thank you very much. So it looks like about 30% of the people are evaluating right now, but the majority are installing the panels. So that's good. So we've got some people that are brand new to us or looking at us right now, which is great, and then a bunch of veterans. So all right, we're going to go ahead and close that poll, and let's go ahead and get started. So first off, I want to say to all you fathers out there, happy Father's Day. I hope you had an awesome time. I woke up yesterday morning to fresh blueberry muffins, eggs, bacon, sausage, orange juice, and 4 kids climbing on top of me.
Perfect.
Yeah. So what did you do for your husband for Father's Day?
I made him a breakfast casserole with biscuits and gravy.
And
then we did presents. And then he went golfing. All
right, here we go. We're in Whitney's house here, so hopefully you don't think it's too hideous. I think it's a lovely home.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And Whitney actually backs up to a golf course, so he probably just hopped the fence and went going.
We're going to put a gate.
You're going to put a gate so you can get up there?
You can walk straight out.
Well, let's tell everyone what we have here. So you're going to be doing the installation here. What tools do you have here in front of you, Whitney?
Okay, I've got the kit.
Yep.
I've got a table stand. I've got a power supply. That's right.
Wire, yeah.
Wire. And then I've got this little micro mini screwdriver.
Okay.
I've never really used this.
Well, that'll be fun. Just so we're aware in terms of how it's packaged, if you go to your distributor today, and I don't know who you purchase from, but whether it's Triad, Edith, Silmar, you name them, whoever you're purchasing from today, they'll sell this kit, which includes the panel. It includes a motion sensor. It includes 4 mini door window sensors and a doorbell. And for a limited time, we're also including a free tilt sensor. I'm going to show you guys this box, just so you can see the contents of it. You kind of see what all's in there. Now, this box includes everything you need.
I was trying to see if there were questions, but instead I swiped it all away.
Yeah, don't do that. This box should include everything you need for a basic install. Now, I know that there's a special right now at some of the distributors where you actually get a free light bulb in addition to this and a free year from Rapid Response. So, and $15 off the Gale lock. So really great deals right now, still going on through the end of the month. Make sure you talk to your distributor about that. But we're going to go through, we're going to open this box and basically pull apart the contents and make sure that you actually have the ability to understand how to put it all together. So, Whitney, go ahead. Break that box open and let's see what's in there.
Okay, got a manual.
So we call this our quick guide. The quick guide here is meant basically to give your installers real quick instructions. Let me show you what this looks like. So we break it up in several sections. We've got here installing the hardware, and this is how to install it on a wall. Okay, how to wall mount it. Connecting Wi-Fi, running a cell test, checking for software updates, pairing security and life safety sensors, pairing Z-Wave devices. So very simple. We try and make it one page just so it's easy to read. This device, just as a plug for you who are wanting to market things, this comes with every box, but you could also take these files. We have them on the dealer portal and customize them if you wanted those documents to be custom for yourself. So pretty cool there. What else is in the box, Whit?
The panel.
The IQ panel, great. 7-inch touchscreen, has all the radios built into it. You won't have to worry about installing snap-in radios or things like that. Everything's all included in here. The battery's already pre-installed. Literally, the only thing you need to do is plug your wires in and plug in the battery and get started. We're going to show you how to do that today. Okay, what else?
And then we've got 4 door window sensors.
4 mini door window sensors. Yep, these mini sensors are great for anywhere. I've got them on doors. I've got them on windows. I've got them on medicine cabinets, the cabinet where we keep our chemicals, the door leading out to the garage, things like that. So these little sensors are fantastic. We'll talk more about those as we dive into them.
The doorbell sensor.
The doorbell sensor is great. This integrates directly into an existing doorbell, so you don't have to worry about replacing the doorbell on the front. And we're going to show you how to do that today too. That's a pretty cool device. Power supply. Yep. And it's not a what's the other word? A transformer. It's a power supply, and it's very important that you use the power supply that comes with it because it's a very specific wattage. That if you don't use the right one, you'll fry either the panel or the power supply. So.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Okay. Tilt.
Tilt sensor for your garage door. Yep. And then the IQ motion is in the box there. Yep. Perfect. So let's start with. Well, let me just glance real quick. Can the panel be flush mounted for a built-in look? Anthony wants to know. Great question, Anthony. Let me show you why you probably don't want to do it. Now, first off, we made it so it has what we call a floating LCD. You look at the way the panel is positioned, that LCD kind of floats off the wall. If you were to flush mount this, you would cover up the dual speakers, you'd cover up your SD card, you'd cover up the built-in siren, and you'd cover up all your ventilation. That being said, we've seen people who have built custom wall mount pieces for this where it snaps in there. We just personally don't do it because of the fact that we want to make sure that it's still breathable. But it still looks really thin because of that floating LCD. When you put it on a wall, okay, as an example here, kind of hard to tell, but you can kind of see on the edge, it looks like it's off of the wall, but it looks like it's nice and thin because of that floating LCD that's on the outside edge. So great question. Let me make sure there's no other questions. How is the range on the wireless applications? Could I put sensors in an outside garage? Yeah, you could. It depends on how far away that outside garage is, and it depends on the house. I mean, RF frequencies are really challenging because sometimes based on a house that's got a lot of metal or brick in the walls, your range goes down quite a bit. If your garage doors or the outside garage that you've got is too far away and you've got those kind of limiting things, it might do it. But for the most part, you should experience the same kind of range that you get with any other system that you've been installing up to this point. The other thing I will tell you too, with these sensors, we design them differently. And I'll crack this open just so you can see it. But the IQ Mini sensor, we specifically took the inside. Let me pull this up, and I'm going to open this up and bring this over to the camera here so you guys can see this. We specifically took the sensor and put the antenna part in the upper section of it. So see this antenna that's got this raised antenna here? That not only is raised up, so it gives it better range, because again, it's a very small sensor, but we put it in the lid. Most sensors actually put it in the part that touches the door, which limits your range and eliminates it if you put it on metal doors, especially. But because we put it in the lid, we're actually getting just as good a range as any surface. You can put it on a variety of mounting surfaces, and it won't cause problems. But you can see that double battery in the back. This is another thing too, is we put double batteries in there. So your battery should last between 8 and 10 years. But that's a cute little tiny sensor. And again, we'll show you how to install it. But great question from Caleb. So thank you very much. One other question: how does the panel power supply? Does the power supply plug into the panel, or is it semi-permanently wired in? This is an issue for installing Z-Wave devices where you need to move the panel nearby the Z-Wave item. Let's talk about wiring the panel right now, actually, and hopefully this clears it all up. So Whitney, let's start with, I'm going to flip this over. And
I need a teeny tiny one.
Yeah. So the first thing she's going to do is she's going to unscrew the top screw on the top of the panel here.
You have to be patient with me. I'm not good at this stuff.
I don't know if we can be patient with her. We've got a webinar to do, Whitney.
My husband.
We've got people who want to see this stuff.
My husband makes fun of me frequently.
For not being able to use a screwdriver? I think he should make fun of you for not being able to use a screwdriver. That's
this
is
handy, though. This is nice.
Well,
I like this one.
Thank you. It's always nice to have a good micro screwdriver.
I swear I'm going to get it. Hold on.
You've already got it.
Is it already done?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
So,
I told you.
So this little screw right here, very small, that top screw is what holds it in holds the back plate to the panel. Now this back plate is designed so that you can mount this directly to a wall. This, it's got 5 different points, actually technically 7 different points where you can mount it in. I'll show you the mount here. You got lots of different points here. Typically I do this one, and then the bottom one. Although if it's a wall where maybe the drywall isn't perfect, I'll do the 2 bottom ones and the 2 top ones. But you can do whichever ones you want. You can see there's a little bit of give in those. So if you want to mount them and slide it down in place, you can do that too. And then this is where the wire will go through. Okay. So first thing we're going to do is get our wire, and you want to put that wire in to the right spot. Now this table stand, the table stand and wire kit comes together. So if you want to do a table install instead of mounting to the wall and having to run a wire, you certainly can. Great for a bedside table, great for a living room counter, kitchen counter, things like that.
By my fridge, because you walk into the garage and then it's right there on the counter.
Yeah. So you guys can't see it, but it'll be right through here, and we'll show you here in a second as we.
Do you want to show them? Do you want me to do it?
Yeah, you show them. Go for it.
It's easier for me.
Yeah, so you can see on the back of there, you can see how there are terminals here. Okay, these terminals are labeled DCIN plus, DCIN minus. That's where you're going to put your positive and negative wires in. You can also see down here the battery's right here. Now we've already plugged it in right there, but you would just, as you install it, that's one of the things you have to do is just push and plug that battery into there. It doesn't come pre-plugged in, but the battery's already installed, so you don't have to do that. And again, your cellular card, your Z-Wave cards, your Wi-Fi, all of it's all built in. You don't have to do anything extra for it. And then this is what we call the third hand or the helper strap. So when you've got the back plate mounted to the wall, okay, so pretend I'm mounted to the wall, you would take this strap, hook it right on this hook here, okay, and that way you can work on the panel while it's on the wall. Now we're not going to be wall mounting today, we're putting it on a counter. But when you're first going to take the wires, now one thing you have to do too is you have to make sure you get your polarity right. Now there's a lot of people who debate which is the positive and which is the negative. Sometimes it says, sometimes it doesn't. In this case, because you're running your own wire, you can choose which wire you want to be positive and which you want to be negative. One of those wires has a black line on it. I always choose the black line on it to be the negative line. It's almost like the negative line on it. And because there's positive and negative, positive feels like it's red and bright and things like that. So it's really up to you. But the biggest thing you want to do is not mix it up when you attach it to positive and negative on your transformer. Okay. So she's simply going to loosen. DCIN, yep. She's simply going to loosen the spot, put the wire in, and then tighten it up. While she's doing that, I'm going to check for questions.
How tight do I make it?
So it doesn't go out.
Squeeze it?
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
I guess if you're new to using a screwdriver.
Be nice to me.
All right, sorry. Here's a question from Philip. He wants to know, is there an RF fault detection on the installer menu to verify RF faults? I'm not familiar with the term fault. Do you mean fault as in open? I know old panels would, say, door fault or things like that. Is that what you mean, Philip? It's a more technical question than I was prepared to ask, but I'm happy to get some other people, or maybe some of the guys here on the line can help us with that question. Philip wants to know, is there RF fault detection on the installer menu to verify RF faults? So, don't use drywall screws, Mark Buckley says. Yes, don't use drywall screws. You definitely want to have something going into a nice firm spot. All right, so Whitney's screwed in there, okay, and you chose black as your negative wire. So make sure you run that through the hole there. And your battery's already plugged in. Mm-hmm. Okay, and then she's going to put the lid on, there we go, upside down. Okay, see? If Whitney can do this, then you guys can for sure.
Okay, I'm not taking it.
And then just put that down and then do that. I'm going to keep asking. So what's the lifespan of the backup battery? Typically about 24 hours. I think we've gotten as many as 28 hours in our testing lab. So it really depends on your usage on the panel. Typically when the power goes off, the battery will start up, and it will be operating on battery, but then the system itself will actually shut down all unnecessary things, like Z-Wave gets turned off, the screen will turn off, things like that. It'll wake back up if you touch it, and it'll wake up out of power management mode or power saving mode. But if it's not touched, then you'll get typically a full 24 hours, which is, again, passing the test. Can table mount cause problems moving to other spots, Philip wants to know. Possibly. You typically want to find a spot where your panel is installed and you want to keep it installed in that spot. This isn't designed to be moving around. I know in this kind of life where we all have these mobile devices, we're used to moving things around all the time. But for this kind of system, you really want to pick a spot and leave it in that spot, especially for, and I think you made this point earlier, for Z-Wave devices, because the Z-Wave mesh network will be based off of where things are installed in the beginning. Now, that doesn't mean that you couldn't adjust your location and move something around and then do a rediscover network on your Z-Wave. But typically, you want to pick one spot for your panel and kind of leave it in that spot. That's one of the reasons I personally like to mount my panel to the wall. A table stand is great, looks great, feels great, is nice and easy to use, but I like to have it permanently mounted somewhere so there's no chance of someone actually picking it up and moving it around and causing problems. Any chance the mounting holes will be added for a 2-gang new or old work low voltage ring? Bill wants to know. Great question, Bill. This current panel is not going to do that, but our 2nd generation IQ Panel 2, which will be out later, actually is planned for a single, double, or triple gang box, and the holes are perfectly aligned for that. So it was great feedback we've got from some of the dealers that we've been installing our panel for years, and we've implemented that into our next platform. So thanks for that. You better run the wire through the backplate before you hook it on, or the backplate won't go on. So he says, yeah, which is exactly the problem we had when we were filming the video that we posted on YouTube that we talked about. I had to take that thing off and put it back on. I don't know if we included that in the version, but is there a way to increase range, such as a repeater? Glenn wants to know. Yeah, there absolutely is. We don't personally sell a repeater, but if you ask your distributor for it, they'll be able to get you a 319.5 repeater, and you can absolutely use that to increase your range, which is perfect for that kind of garage scenario. If you did have an exterior garage or a device that was out by a fence or something like that that you wanted to get range to and you couldn't quite get to it based on the home scenario, then you could use a repeater to get there. Great question. Let's see. Settings. So Mark Buckley says, settings, installation security account would be a location for supervisory signals that Phil was looking for. Oh, he's looking, okay, so go into settings, installation, and then security account, and there's a section in there. And once we get the panel powered up, we'd be happy to look that up for you. Is the kit a normal offering or a special kit? Jeffrey wants to know. Jeffrey, this is a standard kit. So this is a kit you can buy right off the shelf. It's nothing special. We've introduced this probably 6 to 8 months ago, and it's been selling very well. We're actually getting ready to launch a new kit as well called the Classic Kit. It basically is the panel and a motion and 3-door windows, so a little bit smaller. I personally prefer this kit because it includes that doorbell sensor, an extra mini sensor, and it includes the tilt. So you get a little bit more, and it's not that much more money. So I personally prefer the security kit. And again, right now, if you're doing that special through some of the distributors, you're getting a free light bulb, you're getting discount on a Yale lock, things like that. So, let's see. Carrie says, apologize for joining late, and so apologize if you already covered this, but is there a landline connection input? Great question, Carrie. No, there's not. We specifically did not put a landline in this panel because that's a technology that's really kind of going away. If it hasn't gone away already, I don't know of anyone that has a landline in their home. Do you have a landline here?
No, but I pay for one. I think I pay $3 a month for a landline, but we don't use it.
$3. Well, you should save $3 and cancel that landline, especially since you don't even have one. You're kind of wasting $3.
I mean, I think yeah.
Why don't you take that $3 that you were going to spend and buy me a milkshake every single month?
No, I buy me a milkshake every single month.
Well, then buy you a milkshake. Right? Yeah, maybe. Whitney's gonna have a baby here soon, and then I'll be on my own. So first Jenny has her baby and hasn't come back to work. Now Whitney's having a baby.
Hey,
I'm hiring pregnant.
I will be back Halloween Day.
Yeah, that's what she says.
Spooky.
Dressed up as another pregnant woman. All right. So no, there's no landline, but there is a cellular connection and a Wi-Fi connection, and when you connect both of them, you'll actually be able to get a stronger, faster signal because it uses what's called dual path connectivity. Dual path connectivity is where both the cellular and the Wi-Fi work together to send all signals. Now, in traditional security panels, you have a situation where you'll have a landline connected, and then if the landline fails after 30 seconds or a dialer delay, it will flip over and go to your cellular connection. Other panels, I know there are Honeywell panels out there, have a Wi-Fi connection, and if that doesn't work, it flips over and switches to the cellular connection. So again, it waits for something to fail before it switches over. With the IQ panel and Alarm.com, the dual path connectivity uses the bandwidth in real time on both your data and your cellular data and your Wi-Fi connection. So it can tell how fast your connection is, and it will send the signals in the most appropriate fashion. We have seen time and time again, and there are many of you on the call today who probably can attest to this, that when you connect the Wi-Fi in the home and then activate dual path, which is typically activated by default anyway, that the signals go not only very fast, but it really expands the range where you can install a panel. Mm-hmm. So if you have a place in your home where maybe the cellular signal is a little bit weak, you'll still be able to get better signal because of it. In fact, I have a Verizon cellular phone, and right now here at Whitney's house, I'm getting 3 bars of service. I'll be very curious to know what you get when we plug in your panel here. So let's do that right now. Let's go ahead and plug in the power supply. So remember, you did black was your negative and white was your positive. So she's going to make sure she puts her wire with the black line on negative.
Righty-tighty, right?
Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. Mm-hmm.
My dad taught me well.
Well, he was a brilliant man. While you're doing that, let's take a look. Does the doorbell connector connect in parallel or in series with the doorbell? We're going to cover the doorbell in just a minute, so don't go away. And then can the system be put in areas with poor cell reception? Yeah, it sure can, Caleb. And it's because of that dual path connectivity. Yeah, let's plug this in. Let's see what happens here. So as she plugs this in over here at the wall, in fact, you know what? Why don't we go over here where you're going to install it?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Let's flip that camera around. You said you want it over here?
Yeah.
No, just spin it.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, she's making me nauseous. All right, here we go. So, you're home. Oh, she's got an IQ dimmer over here, too. Well, you would help her.
Not fancy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, before we do this, we got to put the table stand on. So grab your table stand. Rookie.
Oh.
Oh, wait.
I'm following your lead.
My microphone's way over here. I better bring it with us. So hopefully you guys can hear us okay.
Okay.
All right. So before we put the panel on, we want to make sure that we put on the table stand. And you can see the wall mount holes here and here, and then the back plate is what you use to put this on the wall, but you also use that for the table stand. You can actually see there's little knobs there, and then this lip right here fits right on the back of it. You can also see this little line right here. That line is what you use to put in this strain relief piece. So this right here fits into the groove right on there. So she's going to first put this in the groove.
Oh. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, it came out.
Okay. So see how that's connected right in that little groove spot there? Okay. Then start at the bottom.
Start at the bottom?
Yep. This line right here.
Oh.
Okay. And then just push up until it snaps in place. So really easy, despite how difficult you seem to pretend it was.
I never noticed the bottom line before.
Okay. So
I can do this part. I can plug it in.
She can plug. She's really good at plugging things in, guys. Watch this. Ready? Ta-da! Okay. So now the panel's plugged in. It's got a great spot here. Now there's a lot of excess cord. That excess cord is really easy to trim off. In this particular scenario, with a plug right there, she could easily cut that, trim that up, and she'd be good to go.
Make it so you guys can see
Okay.
it. Now we're turning it on. He didn't tell you that.
Oh. If you don't do it tight enough,
I told you I started it.
give me a screwdriver.
Okay.
I'm like, why is the panel not turning on? So here's a great lesson. If you don't tighten the screws down enough, the wires come out.
Well, I had a hard time with that one because we've used this so much, I guess.
We have used this for a couple filming things we've done and stuff like that.
Well, I was a little afraid. It was not my fault. It was not user error despite how it looked.
It is user error because before you do it, you should always kind of twist your wires, make sure it's nice and pretty.
Listen, I'm going to see if there's...
And this isn't even tightened down, Whitney. You didn't even tighten it down.
Okay, so it might be. Question, how many cell providers can the panel go with?
Very good question. We actually include a Verizon CDMA radio in most of the panels. However, you can also purchase a panel that has an AT&T radio. We have one that has a Rogers radio, and there's one that has a Telefonica radio as well. So, great question.
The panels are ordered with either a Verizon or AT&T communicator. What's the best way to determine the strongest signal strength at a customer site?
Good question. To be perfectly honest, most people probably already know what cell provider is better. I would go with Verizon 99% of the time. However, if you have a situation where the customer has an AT&T phone and they're like, oh yeah, we always have to have AT&T here, it might just be one of those questions you want to start by asking your customers when they first get their system before you install it. What kind of phones do you guys have? Is there a particular provider that doesn't work out there? And again, because of the dual path connectivity, as long as it's connected to Wi-Fi, it really almost doesn't matter because that cellular connection will work in conjunction with the Wi-Fi signal to make sure you get great signal. So, very good question.
Does the power supply require a specific type of wire if you wish to extend it?
Yes, it does. And I would consult the installation manual for that or talk to our tech support department. Based on the size of wire, you can get some fall off and it won't get enough power to the panel. We've had a couple issues with that, with people doing really long runs. But I would talk to our tech support department in your particular scenario, and they'll be happy to help guide you in that.
Cleve wants to know the best screwdriver to use because the terminal screws, thank you, are very small.
Good job. Good question, Cleve. So the terminal screws and the screw, I usually use a size 0 micro screwdriver.
Are you using that again? No, you can keep talking.
Maybe.
That's not the right size.
Yeah, this is the one I usually use, but I use a size 0. That's typically what we'll buy for trade shows and other events and calls and things like that. So size 0. Now you can see the panel's up and running over here. Okay.
Do you want me to bring it over so they can see it?
No, you're good. So what we're going to do is we are going to first go ahead and connect your Wi-Fi. Okay. So we're going to go into settings. She's going to enter her. Maybe we do want to pull it over here. All right. So she's going to go into settings. Enter the user. Enters.
Better.
And you can do 1234, which is the default user code, and then we want to go and connect Wi-Fi. That's user management. No, we want to do installer code.
Enter user
1111. System settings, and we're going to go into wireless settings, and now we're going to select a network, and here's the White House.
My house.
Okay, so type in your code.
Oh, I gotta remember it. I know we just put it in this morning.
Pretty sad day when you don't remember your own
I
Wi-Fi.
can't remember anything. It's fine.
Is that because of pregnancy or because of your personality?
I wish it was pregnancy, but I think it's part of.
Shameful.
If you don't see me write it down.
Okay, so in here you can see, if I go back,
Was it right?
there's a section called Dual Path, and this Dual Path here allows me to actually check a box, which is checked by default. Now the panel is actually getting both cellular and Wi-Fi. So I want to check right now. I want to see how many bars. Remember we said this was 3 bars on my phone. I'm going to go down here. This is cool, guys. Check this out. On the panel, I'm getting 5 bars of service. So we're getting better signal on this panel by 2 bars than Apple's latest iPhone. The success, okay? So, and I think that the main reason for that is because of the engineering that we've done on the radio, on the antenna, things like that. So not only are you going to get better, more reliable, and better range on service in terms of your Verizon service, but when you combine the Wi-Fi in there, signaling really shouldn't be a problem for you at all. Not at all, okay?
I feel like it looks nicer.
That's the important thing. So obviously we've got a customer here who's very pleased with it. So let's look at a couple questions real quick and make sure we can address those.
Are we providing installation hardware for wall mounting in your new kits as well as the AC wire? Previous versions were omitted.
Good question. We're going to talk about IQ Panel 2 in an upcoming webinar, and we've got a question about that, a poll question. We're going to talk about that later on. So hold that for now. Let's dive into door sensors. So
I'll go get one.
Grab a door sensor. Okay, and the first door we're going to do is over here. Okay.
Let me move all this junk.
It's not junk. Those are IQ Panel 2. Those are top secret.
It looks like junk.
It does look like junk. That's our next generation panel. We'll be doing webinars on that very, very soon. So inside the bag, you can see there's lots of goodies. Okay, we've got the mini sensor. We've got the die-cut adhesives that go on both the sensor and the magnet. Okay, Whitney, go ahead and put the
Sticky on?
The sticky on. And I'm going to take a look at this. Do you have a takeover module you recommend? Great question, JT. So the takeover module I would recommend is the one that we're selling right now. So it depends on what you're taking over. We've got several versions. If you look on our website, we've got. Are you having a problem with putting adhesive on?
I did it. It's fine. Just talk to them.
What? Seriously? It's her first time doing stickers. Okay. Did you
My
do stickers
daughter-
as a kid?
My daughter does stickers. I don't do stickers.
Oh, you don't do stickers?
No.
Okay. We have a lot of different takeover modules. We've got one for DSD 433 radio, which you probably wouldn't want to use because you'd probably prefer just use the DSD Touch, which is an IQ panel with a 433 radio. We've also got a takeover module for hardwire system. It's called a Hardwire 16 or a Hardwire 8. That has automatic end-of-line resistor learning. You can, do hardwired motions and glass breaks and sirens to it, things like that. If you're wanting to do a 345 system, like a Honeywell system or a 2 gig system, we've got a takeover module for that as well. So really depending on which kind you want, just talk to your distributor, and they've definitely got something that they can use to help you convert your existing system into one that the IQ panel can use. Okay? So we're going to go in here.
Hold on. I got to take the battery pads out.
Okay?
Right.
So we've got a garage door over here. There's 2 garage doors. Okay?
Let me bring you closer.
So the question would be, Whitney, this is your home. So do you think that you would rather have this garage door
That one.
or this one?
That one, because it commonly, the way that the storm door works, it kind of pops open.
Storm door.
I don't know. There's a storm door. Never heard of it.
Okay. Yeah. Is it storming in your garage?
Sometimes.
Okay. So show them what you're doing.
Oh, sorry. I took off the adhesive. I took out the battery pads. I took off the adhesive. And then there's a little triangle right here on the mini sensor, and then I'm going to stick it like that.
Yep.
Right? right.
So first you want to start by putting the sensor in place. Okay. So typically you want to put your sensor on the molding so it's not moving so much.
I have a problem with my molding.
Okay, she says she has a problem with her molding. Let's check this out. I'm pretty sure she doesn't have a problem with molding. You know what? I'm switching to our other camera because this way these guys can see detail. They want detail. Don't you guys want detail? I know you want detail.
I'll make them stick.
I'll try not to.
Slow down.
Slowing down. All right. And
Okay. What am I molding?
okay, so this is a pretty typical molding, right? You're going to see this in a lot of homes, okay? A little bit raised up. Sorry for the movement here, okay? It's a little bit raised up, okay? But that's one of the reasons we use a rare earth magnet on the sensors, so that when you put this on there, it will still go. Now, before you actually stick it on there lightly.
Hold on.
Let's make sure.
Which part am I sticking on?
So if you put it on the door, which is the nicer, smoother part, that's certainly easy. There's a couple different ways. However, that also means that every time the door opens and closes, you're rattling the sensor. So if possible, you want to have this sensor on the molding instead.
Okay.
So pick a spot. And that's a little far away. Put it right here. It'll still stick as long as it doesn't get knocked off.
It'll stick as long as it doesn't get knocked off.
Yeah, by the door, if the door hits it, you want it far enough away.
Is that good enough? Oh.
So it's touching there.
Not so good.
Yeah. And you can see that adhesive has actually got a little bit of grip to it. Now that feels pretty ridiculous. I don't know that we'd actually do that. I mean, look at how far that's sticking out. Okay?
That's what I'm
so
saying.
In this case, I think we should flip it over and let's put it there. I wouldn't want to demonstrate that. It would still work in that scenario, but you're probably safer to put it on the door itself. So she's going to put that on the door.
I probably didn't have to push that hard. I don't know why I opened it.
And now you want to put the magnet right next to it.
I gotta get the sticky off.
Get the sticky off.
I'm trying. I can't get it. Help me.
You can do it. You can't do it?
No. Hold on.
This is entertaining.
I can't tell if I'm pulling on the back. We have things to get to. We don't have time for my shenanigans.
All right. Hold the camera. There you go. Super hard.
Listen, it's fine. Okay, so I'm doing the same thing over here, though. Where's my arrow? My arrow's right there.
Yep. So you're going to line that up. And see how big the gap there is? I mean, she can almost fit her finger in there, but that should be more than enough. She probably can go less if she, or even further out if she wanted to. But as long as the door doesn't hit it, she should be fine. And we should be able to pair it with the panel. So let's do that next. Okay? Grab the phone there.
Okay.
We'll make sure to bring our audio with us.
Don't make fun of me. For the adhesive.
All right. Got a fly swatter here just in case.
There's a fly somewhere.
Yeah. So, in here, we're going to go into settings. Whitney, you do it.
Sorry, I was looking at questions.
No, I can do that.
Settings.
Okay.
Installer code.
Okay.
And then installation.
Yep.
And then security, sensors, auto learn.
Okay. Now, she's just going to open and close that door. Okay. And it says, hey, I want to add this to the list. Do you want to continue? Click
Yes,
on.
I do.
Okay. Now you can see automatically it's already a door window, front door. You can see if you look at the sensor groups here. Let's try. I want to get it's a little bright. I just want to make sure they can see it. Okay. I am struggling with the camera. There we go. So you can see it's only giving you door sensor groups. So this is going to be. Well, you just didn't. Oh wait. So change it to. Scroll up. You probably.
Oh my gosh. I am like having a hard time today.
Okay, you probably just want this to be an entry, exit, normal delay.
Yep.
Okay, and change your sensor name. This isn't your front door.
Nope.
Okay, and you can do a custom description. So type in what door that is.
That is my garage door.
Okay, whatever the name is, click done and click add new. Really simple.
No, I'm
so
not
now,
open it.
Yep.
Garage door open.
There we go. So, voila. Now it says this is already registered because it thinks you're trying to learn it in again, but it's already there. Okay? So, really simple. And you can repeat that process for all of your doors. All right. Unplug the remote camera.
Can you screw it into the frame instead of using sticky tape?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, never screw.
The cameras are, hold on, our cameras are messing up. I want to make sure our cameras are working. Break open a new sensor there.
Hurry.
Yeah, we're running out of time. I almost want our webinars to be longer.
So here you can show them the back on that, guys.
Can you guys see me? Because I feel like the camera turned off when I unplugged that other camera.
Let me look.
No, we just lost video feed. I was worried about this.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Unable to share webcam. There's a problem starting it.
That's the thing, because we flip back and forth. Can you guys hear us?
Yeah, they can hear us if we're on here.
Last video.
Yeah, working on it.
Caleb, we miss you too.
Yeah. All right, guys.
Jeremy messed it up. For the record, it wasn't me.
So let's do this. I'm going to stop. I'm going to start the webcam again. Unable to share webcam.
Do you want to do it on mine?
Let me see if we can switch here. Change to the other computer. Change presenter to me.
To answer your question, Scott, on the door sensors, there are little screw holes on the back plate that you can use to put little screws in. Oh, it's working.
Okay, so I'm going to close this out. All right, so that's working. So yeah, so you've got the ability to do that. Not only is there screws here, but this has also got a built-in tamper switch. So you can actually take this and when you screw this in, if someone were to pull the sensor off the wall, this remains here, and it actually tampers the sensor too. So really, really great advantage there for those who want that extra bit of security. Let's do doorbell. I know we're running out of time, so I want to make sure we do it. Motion sensor is really easy to learn in. Obviously, you learn it in the same as anything else. Tamper the sensor and then, put it there. But we want to talk about the doorbell. So the doorbell sensor is this whole device right here. And as you can see, when he's up on the little step ladder here. We already installed it earlier, but you can kind of see how it's wired in. Okay? Here's the sensor, there's the wires. Okay? And what this does is all she had to do was loosen those screws and then just put the wires from the doorbell sensor into it and then tighten them up. So, really easy. And then you put the cover right back on. Okay? Not thinking your doorbell's ringing. So doorbell sensor really easy. And again, when you want a pair of doorbell sensors, so let's do that, Whitney.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wait, I don't know how to pair it.
Just open the case. In fact, once you come over here, you're going to put the panel into auto learn again. And do that.
Okay. Auto learn.
I just realized we probably went over there and talked and didn't bring this with them. I'm pretty sure that no one could hear us. Still no video. Okay. Hopefully you guys can see us okay. So Whitney's going to put the panel into auto learn mode, and then I'm going to tamper the doorbell sensor, which is basically just opening the case and then closing it again. Which is hard to do while holding the phone. Sorry. Put the phone down for just a second. All right, here we go. All right, I heard it go. So, you want to change the sensor type to doorbell instead of door window. And now, when she's got this programmed, there it is. Now you've got a set doorbell chime, and when you learn it in, it's learned in as a local safety sensor. That local safety sensor means it's not part of the security system, and when the alarm is armed, if someone were ringing the doorbell, it doesn't set off the alarm, okay? So go ahead and click Add New, and voila, now you've got a doorbell learned into the panel. By having a doorbell learned into the panel, you can create new extra rules like when the doorbell rings, turn on my porch light. When the doorbell rings, start myalarm.com exterior video camera, things like that. So it makes it really, really smart for an existing doorbell.
Can you guys see me?
I don't know if we still have bad video or not. I still have no video connection. All right. Okay, so some people are still seeing it.
If you can't see us, try logging out and back in. That seems to work usually.
Well, we're almost done too. So
that's true.
Let's see. A couple things.
Sensor.
Tilt sensor. Yeah, let's do that next. Yep. All right.
Into the garage.
Going into the garage.
You're not very
Well, it's my first time using your garage. Okay. It is my first time using your garage. All right. So kind of hard to see because it's up on the very top, but I wanted to put it at an angle so you could see where it was. Well, just like that. See there. There's the tilt sensor right up there. Now you can see that the striped part is down. It's on the down part. And it's on the very highest part of the garage. That way, as soon as it starts to lift, the little roller ball inside it will connect and allow you to allow the panel to get a signal saying, I'm open, okay? Now, in order to pair that with the panel, we would need to either tamper it or we would need to open it if it was in open mode. Whoa!
You're going to climb on my car?
Almost fell. Yeah, I don't have a separator.
Oh, wait,
The panel's not an auto learn mode.
Let me open it.
So you should never take your panel out of auto learn mode. Okay.
Oh, wait, yes, it is.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Wait. Hold on, do it again.
Okay.
Auto learn.
There you go. Now, the other thing you can do is if you know the DL code of a sensor, you can actually learn it in without even tampering the sensor or opening it up. You just install it where it needs to go, and then you're good to go. Great question. How many sensors can you put on the panel? Who asked that? Gold star today. You can do up to 59 security sensors, and you can do up to 75 Z-Wave zones, and then 5 image sensors. So
how many sensors can you put on the panel with multi-garage doors?
As many as you can buy things for. I mean, up to 59. So again, on the tilt sensor, the stripe side goes down. Okay, tamper it by just pushing in the top piece here, opening up the case, then that tamper thing goes there. Okay, and by opening that up, that just triggered in a new one, so we could learn in a new garage door. That's just for a second one, but we wouldn't need to do that because you've only got one garage door. So there's the garage tilt. There is a door sensor. There is a doorbell sensor. That's all of your. You want to do the motion? Might as well.
It's auto learning.
So let's do the motion based off. So it's right now. It's detected our motion, and it's now saying, do you want to add this to the list? You could also use this DL code on the very back. So all the sensors have a DL code. If you're using one of our mini sensors or things like that, the DL code is written on the box. Okay, you can use this code on the box. That's the DL code? Yeah, that's the DL code. And you can basically type in this code into the panel. Let me show you where to do that. Let's click cancel here and go back. And I'm going to click add sensor, and I would type in the DL code. So Whitney, give me the DL code of that motion sensor.
Motion sensor is, where is it? Yeah, D97441.
Okay, so click done. I change it from door window to motion. Okay, motion detector, away instant, and I click add new, and voila, motion sensor is done.
I feel like auto learning is a lot faster for someone like me.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. But if you were in a situation where a sensor was installed and it was up on a high place or whatever, you didn't want to have to try and go, like on the garage door, I had to climb on your car and tamper it. If you knew the DL code on that, all you'd have to do is learn that on the panel. Now, some people like to learn all their devices into the panel before they start. So they'll literally lay it out on the table, pair all the devices, and then they just go around and peel off the adhesive, or in your case, struggle to peel off the adhesive, and then put it in the right place.
You've got jokes.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
What other questions do we have?
What is the range on the motion?
Range of the motion is about 35 feet. Okay. Good question.
75 Z-Wave plus 59 security devices, a total of 134.
That's right. 75 security zones. 75 Z-Wave zones, 59 security, and 5 image sensors. If you're not familiar with the image sensor, I'll show you that device right over here. The image sensor is a motion sensor with a built-in still camera. Okay, you can see there's one installed right there. It is really, it's one of those things where you can put it in an axis of motion anywhere. But if you also want to see what the motion sees, you can peek in now or peek in the next time it detects motion from your phone. So it's a nice little way of adding affordable security for your home in multiple locations. So let me see what other questions we have. That's it for the moment.
I think I might have missed some.
Okay. Can any IP cameras work on the system? No, you've got to use the alarm.com video camera, so they integrate with the system. And the alarm.com cameras don't pair with your panel, they pair with the router. So as you pair them with your router, same thing for like the LiftMaster garage door opener. you'll be able to pair that and use that on your phone, and it'll be part of your system and still communicate with the rest of your system. And that's the beauty of a system like this, unlike something you might buy off the shelf from Home Depot, and you can help your customers understand this, is it's not about the ability to have an app to do something. They can go out and they can buy a MyQ garage door opener from their local garage door person, and it's not installed by you and not integrated into the system here. By doing that, they miss out on all the integration. By having a device like a garage door opener or a Z-Wave lock or things like that integrates into your system, now you can create commands that say, when the door opens, do this. When the door closes, do this. When the system is armed, do that. You can use the scenes on alarm.com. For those of you that haven't seen that, if I go into my alarm.com app, you can see there's scenes here, away, home, going to sleep, waking up. I could type in, I'm home, and all of the things within my system will act how I want them to act. My security system will disarm. My door lock will unlock. My garage door will open. My thermostat will turn up. All those things kind of work together in one big happy family. And that's part of having the Internet of Home in your system that you install, is not just having a system that is a bunch of apps and a bunch of things that have access, but a system that actually truly communicates with each other. It's smart, it's intelligent, and it does things. The Z-Wave thermostat is a perfect example of this. When you pair a Z-Wave thermostat, I've got the alarm.com thermostat in my house.
I have the Qolsys.
And you've got the Qolsys one. Okay, so I've got the alarm.com thermostat in my house. When I open a door and leave a door open, it knows that door is open and turns down my thermostat. Okay? You're not going to get that with a smart thermostat you're going to buy online. Okay? You guys are able to install something that actually truly makes a home smarter. Okay?
Wireless smoke and fire detectors compatible.
Absolutely. We've got a variety of things. If you look on our website, Qolsys.com, or talk to your distributors, they'll tell you a variety of 319.5 as well as the ones that we sell that will work with the system. Absolutely.
I know Apple Watch works when we can use Samsung Gear S for controlling alarm, etc., like Android.
That's really a question for alarm.com, and I don't have an answer for that, but I appreciate you asking it, Philip. I know alarm.com has a great app for Android. What I don't know is if and when they're building an app for the Samsung Gear, but I would ask your local alarm.com rep about that.
What's in the works for new stuff not out like Z-Wave Plus?
There's lots of stuff in the works for Z-Wave, and we're working on a variety of things. Right now, we've introduced just a short while ago the Z-Wave light bulb. We're working on some garage door openers. There's some people who don't want to use a Wi-Fi garage door opener. They want a Z-Wave garage door opener. We feel like that's potentially a little more reliable because you don't have to depend on the customer's home router. And we all know how challenging it is as soon as you touch a customer's home router that suddenly now you're in charge of their home network. It seems like you become their IT person. So a Z-Wave garage door opener would allow you not only to strengthen your Z-Wave network, but then it also allows you to have direct access to opening and closing the garage from your panel as well as from your mobile phone. Another advancement that's coming out right now that actually just got released with our 161 software update is your disarm photos sent to your phone. Let me show you an example of this. So when you disarm the panel, you get a text message that tells you when the panels have been disarmed. Okay? Here's a screenshot. You can actually see, white home panel is disarmed by Whitney at 12:26 p.m. on Friday, June 23rd. And the camera built into the panel here will actually capture this photo for you and send it to your phone. So every day when Whitney gets into the office, at our office here in our Utah marketing office, I get a photograph of Whitney, and most of the time she's making some kind of funny face or sticking out her tongue or whatever. The other day, Jeremy Blakeney, when he came in, flashed us. That was quite the interesting disarm photo. But you can have a lot of fun with it. But it's nice. Yeah, definitely not. But it's nice to be able to see who's disarming your system. I can see that Whitney's at the office. I can see she's gotten in. I can see she's safe. She's happy. She's having a good day. If she's grumbly and cranky looking, I can call her up and be like, hey, I'm not in the office yet, but I can tell you're having a bad day. You're still having a bad day.
I'm just kidding. Okay, more questions. Explain the doorbell sensor. Heard it can trigger a camera. What else can it do?
Great question. It really is anything you can think of that a doorbell would do. If you want to get a notification that your doorbell rung, then you can get a text message, and you'll see as you're sitting there at work or wherever that my doorbell just rung. Maybe that makes you want to take a look at your house and make sure everything's safe and make sure everything's okay. Maybe you call your wife and say, hey, it sounds like the doorbell's ringing. Who was that? Is everything okay?
Your boyfriend.
Yeah. I hope it wasn't your boyfriend.
That would be a bad thing.
That would be a bad day.
Is there an irrigation control system that is compatible?
Great question. No, not currently, but there are several things in the works, and we're looking forward to seeing that. I have an irrigation control system in my home that I can operate from my phone, but it does not yet tie into a security system. A lot of people ask, well, what's the purpose of having an irrigation control system tie in with your security? There's a lot of different things. Imagine if you do it when the fire alarm goes off. Fire alarm goes off, automatically turn on the sprinklers in the front yard, so that if I was on fire, I can go out and get doused. Okay? I think it's brilliant. It's simple. It's highly unlikely, hopefully, but still potentially useful. So, and then of course there's the things like, hey, when I'm away, maybe I want my my irrigation system to act differently, things like that. But almost anything you can think of that could be integrated in, we're working on some solutions, but we want to continue to hear your ideas, so please continue to share those.
What other features are included on 161? We are going to have a webinar dedicated to 161 on, I think it's
in 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
July 11th. July 11th at 11 a.m. Pacific time. Same time.
While we're asking that, I want to ask another poll question. I want to know.
I'll send out the link to register for that if you guys are interested.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask you guys real quick, and then we'll end here because I know we're going over time. Which of the following webinars would you attend in the future? Click all of the ones that apply here. An overview of the IQ panel, going deeper into the settings, deeper into the features of it. An overview of our second generation or IQ Panel 2 webinar. Creating a referral program. I'd really like to, is there a way that we could help you guys think of marketing and creating a referral program? How to make custom videos. What are the things that, we could do to show you to make videos that you can do for yourself and use on social media, on your website, on the panel, things like that. And then the final one is creating an upgrade program for existing customers, looking at your customers you have and saying, how can we help you improve, the system that you have today and creating an upgrade program around it, some extra incentives around that too. So some great responses here. Looks like the winner is the IQ Panel 2 overview. We definitely need to be doing that very soon. And
that one's on the radar.
It is on the radar.
July.
Yeah. So we're just to give you guys an update on the IQ Panel 2. Everything is going really, really well. We're in beta right now. We just finished our pre-beta, and we're now starting our beta program. And the panels are going out to the earliest and the people that reached out for us to be participating in the beta program. A lot of you here on the webinar today probably have done that. If you're interested in participating in the beta program, you can email beta@qolsys.com and be able to get some information there about the beta program. It does not guarantee that you'll get into the beta. We've got a very limited number of people that we're letting in and a specific criteria we're trying to meet. And typically existing customers are the ones who are getting into the beta because they're already experienced with our platform and our services and our technology, and we want their feedback. But we have, depending on who they are, we have also allowed some new customers into our beta as well. So, but that beta, as soon as it's done, we'll be launching the IQ Panel 2. So we're, hopefully it'll be a few months from now, if not sooner. So we're very excited about that. I'm going to go ahead and close the poll now. The only other thing I would say is, again, talk to your distributor about the IQ Security Kit. Right now, through the end of June, it's a really great special, so you definitely want to take advantage of that. And this webinar will be up online as soon as we can get it uploaded to YouTube. I'm hoping later on today, but if not, you can check back tomorrow. We'll also send you guys a follow-up email with a link to our webinar playlist in there, so be watching for that as well. We'll go ahead and stay online here and answer any of your other questions that have trickled in or things that we've missed. But really hope you've enjoyed our webinar today. Thanks for all your participation. Thanks for, asking questions, things like that. If you guys have ideas of things that you would like to see in webinars besides the ones that we threw out there, type that in there. Let us know. We want to make these webinars as effective as possible for you so you can actually enjoy them and participate in them. So thanks very much, Whitney. Thank you for being patient with me.
Thanks for being at my house.
Yeah. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you guys later.